You must not avert your eyes. This is what is coming at us. Do not avert your eyes.
A storm is coming in, and it looks particularly nasty. Well, I can't stand around looking at the beautiful weather all day. I better get below and see what the Chucklefucks are up to this evening.
Hey, Chris, thanks for coming down here in the store.
You know, it is what it is. I am cold, I am wet, I am miserable, so it's already doing better than when I watch things.
Cold, wet, and miserable is how we watch most things, yeah.
Don't like that.
Yeah, neither do I, but I mean, we do owe a debt to a demon on this totally logical movie show about movies.
Okay, but like, have we ever really like how much do they owe you?
$33.28.
Like I've got like a couple of 20s in my car. Like,
But would you trust them with it?
God, after Podfire, probably not.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah, God, fuck, you guys are fucked.
I swear we're normal. We could be trusted with money.
Patrick, you officiated my wedding. You are nowhere near normal. You're at the Bhagavad Gita in front of my Baptist parents.
They said it was a beautiful service.
Yeah, okay. Where is Dustin? Like we've been here for 30 minutes. He's supposed to be back with the pizza by now.
Dude, I don't fucking know. He said something about having a great idea and just kind of like left, but he says that all the time. He says, I got a great idea, and just jets out the door, and we'll find him like 2 or 3 days later.
You really got to stop giving that boy Sigma brain. It's concerning at this point.
Sharks, thank you for having me today. I know your time is valuable, and I speculate that you are going to appreciate the value that BYOS brings to the market and also to your pocketbooks. As we know, the key to success is disruption, and nowhere is there a need to spread disruption more than in the medical field, right? You see, medical procedures are often invasive and painful, and while doctors are great about making recommendations for your health, your comfort isn't always on their top bill, and that's where we come in. I believe the most important aspect of making a viable product is finding a gap in the industry and just take a good look inside of it, and then just fill that gap. And with Bring Your Own Speculum, patients can finally... Wait, what is that lever? It's not a trap door or anything, is it? Okay, wait. I haven't even told you the best part. It's a subscription box.
I am deeply concerned about the trajectory of this conversation. Just fell from the ceiling. Hey, are you okay?
I've been better. I've been worse.
Why are you wearing that suit?
Oh, I was just pitching some new products to Shark Tank guys upstairs.
And you decided a party suit with penises on it was the best way to do it?
Well, I mean, when you're selling.
Yeah, like not even like the Hawaiian shirt?
Well, he only gets those in my will.
Yes, this is true. So, I don't think that the Sharks liked Bring Your Own Speculum.
No, sorry, what?
Huh? What are we talking about here, guys? What's happening?
No.
So wait, you were on Shark Tank,
Uh-huh.
and they dropped you down a trap door.
Apparently so.
Yeah, that sounds like something Kevin Leary would do.
Is that Dennis's brother?
This is why you pitched it and get upset.
Yeah, I'm really gonna have to find some different money making opportunities. I don't think that Podfire is a bust. BYOS is a bust. So yeah, I don't know. Go back to the drawing board. Apparently, I'll figure something out.
So Shark Tank, like just to clarify, Shark Tank has a trap door that drops all of their worst ideas into Gimcrack's basement.
Of course. Where do you think I get our sponsors from?
Oh yeah, that does explain the Goon Hub.
So, Chris is here to watch a movie with us tonight. We couldn't find anyone wandering the streets in another dimension this week, so we just called a friend.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be a consolation prize.
Yeah, you know, everyone's a silver medal here at Gimcracks.
Yeah, no, I used the pizzas to bribe my way onto Shark Tank because I never actually auditioned or did anything. I just gave the crew all the pizzas that you gave me money for.
Oh, fuck it. No, I'm out. Yeah. I was here for a slice of Grimaldi's. If we're not having Grimaldi's, I'm fucking out. Fuck you guys.
No. It's all Hawaiian pizzas though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that supposed to entice me?
Somebody ordered them a couple weeks ago during the telethon. Well, I could swear. Oh, hey, did you guys introduce the show yet or anything? Because I was not around.
Well, we didn't, and there's a storm out, Chris, so I don't actually think you can leave.
What? Wait, so I'm just stuck here. I'm stuck here at shithole Hollywood Video.
Gimcrack carries nothing but the finest selection of films here.
Thank you.
Entire Asylum catalog.
At least someone here has respect. Every single Poloni film.
Mm-hmm. All like 600 that he did in the last 2 years.
602.
Oh, I missed. I was counting.
You're always forgetting the remakes.
That's like saying there's only 13 Ass Clowns movies. There's 14. You can't forget the last Ass Clown movies.
Release the Polonia cut. We are we're the Found on Shelf podcast. I swear we talk about movies, like talk about a movie
all the time.
And right now we are unfortunately at the mercy of this Jackalope machine over here. Put money in, spits out a fortune, off we go, watching whatever the Jackalopes decide. So it's been a ride so far.
Losing control of your show to a demon.
Yeah, that's very true.
There's a lot of lore with this podcast. Just start over at episode 1 and come back. We'll wait for you.
No, you could almost skip the first season. Just go ahead.
You could basically skip like the first 2 seasons. Just go straight to season 3.
Yeah, it gets better.
I do have a question on how Gimcrack came across the Jackalope machine. Has that been established yet? I'm sorry, I don't listen to this podcast.
No one does. It's all right.
Yeah, sure. I found it in hell. It was at a great bargain at a garage sale. So down off Infernal Lane, Azazel was having a garage sale. We call him Azzy. Yeah, and Jackalope was there. I'm like, I need something for my store. Match made in heaven, so to speak.
Yep.
If for fun, the phrase.
Now, is there any other currency that the Jackalope won't take? Because I've shoved some weird things in there, and it just always seems to spit out a movie.
Yeah, so if you'll notice, beside the Jackalope, there's another important box in Gimcrack videos, and that's the employee complaint and feedback box. And I'm getting a lot of HR complaints about the things you shove inside the Jackalope slot. Could you maybe just stop that?
Who's complaining about it? The Jackalope?
Well, everyone. This is a lobby. People can access this.
I'm at least 20%.
Yeah.
You're 100% of the customers that Gimcrack
has. Brain is a problem, and it's caused some reckless behavior.
Yeah. We'll see about that.
Oh, is this the intervention? I thought that was next week.
No, it is next week.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, okay. We'll meet up. We'll follow up offline. All right.
Okay.
So, do you have a piss coin?
Do I have a piss coin? Of course I have a piss coin.
Shove a piss coin in the slot and see what the
All
jackalope
right.
spits
All
out.
right. All right. Let me. And there we go. All right.
In times of darkness, heroes will assemble to stand against evil, to stand for justice, in a league of some kind.
Huh.
Okay, so it's Justice League?
No.
Justice League.
No. You gotta get me out of here. No. I'm not going back.
Okay. Wow. Gimcrack, I didn't know you had this movie in your collection.
Yeah, no, it seems like we don't usually get ones that are that new.
I'm so fucking scared right now.
Which
Why?
one is it?
Do you like comic book movies?
I don't just like comic book movies, Dustin. They were foundational to my understanding of pop culture from the ages of 14 until I was 29. I don't like comic book movies, Dustin. I hate comic book movies. I hate their derivative, over folksy, yuck image that Joss Whedon has bred into us. I hate the endless cycle of reboots, the continuity that was originally streamlined but has grown into a hydratic Gordian knot of callbacks and plot references.
Are we still on for Fantastic Four next week?
Yeah.
All right. I've never seen this version.
Yeah. Which cut is it?
Oh, this one's the standard cut. It's the controversial cut, which is saying something about this movie.
Actually, if you would look there, I think it's the 1997 cut.
Dustin, what's he talking about?
What?
I don't know. Here, you look at it. Do you recognize this at all?
This cover art's kind of weird. Chris, can you look at this cover art and see if that rings any bells to you?
Hang on. What? No. No. I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh, you know what? That is the 1997 failed CBS movie pilot for Justice League of America.
Oh, that's
I don't even think that they actually aired that on TV. It was so bad it was canceled before it even got launched. Oh,
Holy
that's the version
shit.
we're watching.
Holy shit.
All right.
No. Is this really what we're reduced to? Is doing
We got to
TV
do
movies?
what the Jackalope says.
You say that like we have standards.
God damn it. I sat through the entire DC extended universe for this.
This
ruined.
is the extended universe. The pre-extended. Prehensile. It's the prehensile universe. Wait.
But like,
You better cut to the theme song. You're about to listen to me rip one of my molars out live on air.
Yeah, it's a doozy. Look at that cover again. Just look at it.
I feel like I should be offended by Martian Manhunter, and I'm not sure why. I just am.
Because he's a shapeshifter that chooses the shape of an overweight man.
what actor is playing Martian Manhunter? My favorite.
Oh, I'll
one
get into that.
My favorite one is you've got Flash, Atom, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, and Karen.
Mm-hmm.
That's Joni Woman. So wait, who is the fucking cat in blue right there? Is that supposed to be Kyle Rayner?
No, that's the Green Lantern. I forget which version of it's supposed to be.
I have one minor nitpick.
He's not green?
I have no minor nitpicks.
Wait, he's not green?
Oh, wait, no. Yeah. Actually, you're going to have a lot of nitpicks because he is Guy Gardner.
Fuck you. I'm so angry right now. This is the cruelest thing you people have ever done to me. I'm angrier at you than I was after Things. Can I say something? I'm going to say two things. First, Captain Adam's bulge, very, very upsetting to me.
Yeah, it does kind of draw the eye, doesn't it?
It is intentionally framed as such. The second, this Flash may be on slightly less cocaine than the Joss Whedon Flash.
In both fiction and in real life.
Go ahead and take your first shot now, gang. It's going to be an Ezra Miller bashing episode.
The Justice Friends, 3 of Earth's mightiest heroes, joining forces under one roof to face the challenge of everyday life. Starring Major Glory, Alan, and the infraggable Krunk in The Justice Friends.
Chris, you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm going to kill you both.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm not.
Then you're never going to collect your money.
Oh, we're beyond that at this point. I'm doing it mostly for the raw joy of seeing you suffer. It doesn't happen that often, but tonight I'm hopeful.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
That's the most nothing I've seen happen in a movie. It's like they heard the pitch from Seinfeld and took it literally.
Yeah, no, that they nailed it.
Okay, so before we get into the movie, let's kind of talk about the lineup, because like every great superhero mashup movie just needs an awesome lineup of characters that are comic accurate as possible.
So we'll start with the Adam's bulge.
Well, let's go. So
No, Gimcrack, please go on.
Is it still Pride Month?
Tell us more, Gimcrack. I really like your shorts, by the way.
Oh yeah, we had an interesting guest on last week, and they loaned us this new wardrobe, and I'm liking it. I think I might keep it. It's a different kind of style. It really shows off my thighs. What do you think, Dustin?
I'm still hoping for about a 9 or 10 inch inseam.
I've got 9 or 10 inches, but the inseams are
yeah,
God,
that's the problem.
I want to go home.
I'm practicing for the next time we have Cammy on.
She's into you. So here's the list of characters that we've got. Fire. Now, as far as
Earth, wind, water, and heart.
We would be so lucky to get that movie. But I remember the Don Cheadle short they did. That's freaking awesome.
I fucking wish.
So on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate the characters' appeal and execution? So Fire.
Okay. Fire? I don't know, mid TV appeal, 3?
You can tell that this is somebody who's about to star on a single season of Law and Order.
I had never heard of Fire or Ice before, so I think their appeal was.
See, I had. So Fire and Ice have been bebopping around kind of in the back of relevant comic book pop culture for about the past 20 years. When the Justice League TV series that was actually made, the animated series related to Batman, the animated series, got expanded into the full love letter to DC that was Justice League Unlimited. Fire and Ice actually popped up several times in the background, primarily in non-speaking roles.
Okay, so you're familiar with them. That's good. See, I never really stepped out of DC besides the main core group of people. So a lot of them are somewhat unknown to me. Fire and Ice, completely unknown to me.
Well, and there's a reason for that, but continue with your bit and we'll get into mine here in a second.
How comic accurate would you say that they were?
I think holding up comic accuracy as a measure of anything in this is wildly irresponsible.
You don't think that the teal lantern is accurate?
I don't want to talk about not Kyle Rayner, actually.
Famous redhead Guy Gardner.
Yeah, if we're going to talk about Guy Gardner, then we need to talk about DC's history of embargoes. Are either of you familiar with DC's history of embargoes?
Nope.
So
No.
DC has historically been very, very protective of their brand images and their usage of their big name superheroes, primarily the big three: Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman.
And I'm assuming this ended in 2016.
Kind of. James
With the rest of
Gunn
the
has
world.
definitely tried to take a more of a direct approach for it, but it really became notable in the mid 2000s with the advent of the Dark Knight trilogy, of Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, wherein DC basically excluded every single character that was anything more than slightly tangentially related to Batman from appearing in any form of media besides the comic books. No animated series, no live adaptations, no straight to TV or straight to DVD movies. If you wanted to see Batman, you needed to go and see The Dark Knight.
Right.
Which led to some creative television making decisions. Because suddenly it becomes that much more difficult to make an animated series around them. And DC has kind of had a history of this, which is why you've got this bizarre fucking lineup for this, is because you have to remember that we are just coming off of the Tim Burton Batman movies. I think Batman and Robin came out this year.
Batman and Robin came out in 90. Did it come out in 96?
I think it's 97. We're really still pre like Batman the Animated Series, which I need to. Batman the Animated Series didn't really begin until so Batman the Animated Series was 92 to 95. So it was still kind of fresh in everybody's mind. Batman was still a big money maker, so you couldn't really put him into something like this. Same goes with characters like Kyle Rayner, who at that point pretty much was the Green Lantern. So
Yeah.
comic book nerds, don't fucking shoot me. I'm allowed to say things.
Don't cancel the podcast. Just
Yeah.
cancel
So
Chris, not us. Fine.
feel free to at Patrick. I'm not on Blue Sky.
Okay, so yeah, and I was reading something about this to where I can't find much history about the prior work to making this movie, but apparently this movie was designed to kick off a new TV show that they wanted to have.
Correct.
That was kind of like Justice League meets Friends in a weird way, with like the Office interviews spliced in pre-Office.
Well, Patrick actually has thoughts on those interviews. Patrick?
Yeah. So the thing about the interviews are, obviously, you're right. Like in today's world, we would use this talking head reacts as saying it's The Office, right? But this was before The Office. The thing that it's using as its guide stone, the only thing that I can think of that does this, and they have the same energy actually, is When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is one key difference, though.
Please, the lack of Billy Crystal
was actually a much better improviser than any of these people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Maybe not one of them. Ooh, mysteries abound.
Okay, so let's talk about the lineup for this fucking little nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
So as you mentioned, we've got Fire and Ice.
Yeah.
We've got not Kyle Rayner, Guy Gardner, the Green Lantern, playing the most Kyle Rayner Green Lantern I've ever seen.
Yeah, he was kind of an amalgamation of lanterns, and his style, his name, and his dress was kind of three different lanterns thrown into one.
He was one girlfriend in a refrigerator away from being Kyle Rayner. Let's be real here. We've got the Barry Allen Flash, who's our Joey.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there was a Flash show at this exact same time.
There was
there
not.
not?
That was 1990 with John Wesley Shipp.
Yeah.
That was 1990. That was
it was
earlier.
significantly earlier. It is also better regarded than this because John Wesley Shipp actually came back for the CW Flash shows as that Barry Allen's father.
Okay, so like briefly, because you know we're doing this superhero thing. Let's think about the other superhero shows that were around at this point in time. Because we're after Batman, we're in the '90s superheroes. So you had in that the Flash of the 1990, right? You also had, was it Mantis or that show where the disabled guy had like a robotic exoskeleton?
Oh shit! Yeah,
Like he was Tony
I
Stark.
think it was Mantis.
It was Mantis. I love that show. There was Shadow Man, right? That was the one that it was called Shadow Man, right?
Because that guy had Nightman.
Nightman. Yeah, the Bible Man looks like he's ripping off Nightman.
We're gonna get this. We're gonna get to Bible Man. Don't even get me started.
We're gonna get to Bible Man? Okay. That's the kind of camp we're talking about when we think about these shows. If you think about those shows and then look at this show, you're like, actually, the production is about on par.
So you've also got, however, Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman in '93, 4 years before this.
You did have that one, and I liked that as a kid, but I don't think that I have the stomach to go back and watch Dean Cain do it.
Well, that's fair and valid. You've got Todd McFarlane's animated Spawn, which rips fucking ass, but that's a
that's the extreme.
Yeah, that's the made for HBO special.
I mean, this looked like what the live action Tick was making fun of.
God, yes. Okay, there it is. I mean, there's the elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to.
There's no pitching it at this point. Like fucking hell. Like, how do you pitch this?
I think we already did.
You literally just play. It's the show about nothing clip from Seinfeld. Fucking hell. Nothing.
Yeah.
What's the deal with the weatherman?
Oh, I will say this: the weather
forecast is never
Matt
accurate.
Reeves is a fucking ripoff and con artist for stealing the weatherman from this.
Oh, because of the
Zodiac Killer Riddler, and I will fight you if you tell me otherwise.
I was like, wait a minute. Well, it was more like Dollar or like, Spirit Halloween.
I kept waiting for him to sing Ave Maria.
The look was interesting. Was a decision. Was a choice.
Yeah, it's the kind of like, we know what terrorism is, wink wink thing that you'd get before 2000.
Yeah. Back when the tongue still had to be in the cheek.
Yeah, back when you could make the movie True Lies.
God.
So this movie, we're talking about Justice League of America. It is a pilot movie that was made to try to pitch a television show about the Justice League. And it was for CBS, and it actually never aired in the United States. It was, I believe it aired in Europe, and that's really about it. So,
holy shit! Is this why we have The Office? Did Ricky Gervais rip it off from this?
Have been.
Just another one of Ricky Gervais's sins.
Yeah, it's a long list at this point.
Yeah, it was a pretty, not very well-known director that mainly focused on doing TV show episodes like ER and Criminal Minds and stuff. So he's worked on some good things, but
that's what's wild about this, is that marbled through this show are people that like have careers and you'll continue to see for like another 10, 15 years.
The Crypt Keeper is in this.
The Crypt Keeper is in this. One of the lead detectives from Law and Order SVU pops up in this. Both she and the guy who plays Guy Gardner end up in Gossip Girl down the road. Yep. Like there are people in this. There are actors. There are talent involved with this. It's just, I don't know where it all went.
Well, the movie they realized was kind of not good, and they were like, "This isn't going to get picked up unless we fix something." So, a gentleman by the name of Louis Teague, who was the director of Alligator 1980 and Cujo in 1983, they brought him in at the last minute to try to salvage the project. But he
couldn't shove a giant animal in it. So what the fuck was the deal?
He tried to fix it, and he was like, "There's nothing I can do with this. I don't want any credit. Don't put my name on this movie."
This is the man that gave us Alligator.
He looked at this and was like, I can't fix it.
You know, guys, I did Alligator. This is a little beneath me. You're really looking for the guy who did Alligator 2, The New Mutation. That's really the level you're playing at here.
Yeah, I've never seen a movie that fails to live up to the sum of its parts as hard as this.
For basically, it was never really released. It never was intended to come to DVD. Just somebody made a bootleg off of somebody, and it traveled around the festival. So for all camping dolphins, it doesn't really exist at all. So, but I found a copy, and we can watch it.
You mean you found a copy of the movie at my cursed video store, right? It's not a bootleg download.
No, I think you might have bought it at a comic book convention.
That's a possibility.
No.
That's where I got the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Mm-hmm.
And you think of a better film that will drive men to madness than the Star Wars Holiday Special?
That's pretty bad.
Like I have so much that I could talk about with this because like the history of DC television is such a rich tapestry of fucking garbage and absolute gems that it could make for a legitimately compelling story. But at the same time, do I want to give that kind of fucking energy for this movie?
On a scale of 1 to 10, where does Pennyworth stand?
Honestly, do you want my honest opinion?
Yeah,
it
sure.
is overhated. It is
That's probably
competent for what it is trying to do. No matter how misguided what it is trying to do is, it is competently executed and made with at least some level of care.
That sounds like describing one of the better movies on this podcast. It's competently made. There was direction. It had some level of care. I'm pretty sure I've said that as positives about something.
that could be like the quote on a movie box.
I know for a fact there's one episode where I just go, it was written.
The decisions that were made early and were never able to be corrected by anybody who mattered.
Yeah, they got people to say lines in it. It was something.
A lot of people made money off of it, and really, isn't that what matters about Hollywood at this point?
Yeah, we're not about those movies. We're about those movies that lost a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Next year,
failure.
Adventures of Pluto Nash.
I will kill myself on camera. Like I will seppuku myself right here into the mic.
Adventures of Pluto. Go ahead, continue.
I'm going to come unhinged. I'm dancing on the edge, Patrick. I am on the razor's edge and my toes are bleeding.
So
yes, that's really the effect we go for here.
So the movie kind of starts off with them interviewing Ice, who at the time was, she was talking about when she became Ice, which is what the movie is about, even though it kind of flashes back and forth to the interviews that are relating to it. Was poorly designed.
I think just for narrative coherence, we need to set aside the interlude moments because they are entirely disconnected from the plot, contribute nothing to the overall characterization or development, and are barely diegetic, if at all relevant. So we can come back to those, or we can do them all up front. We've got to chunk it.
We can just say they exist.
They're almost I guarantee they're almost entirely improvised.
Yeah, and it all looks like they were done on like the backgrounds of those those studio portrait like places they used to have in the mall back in the 90s.
At the Sears.
Yeah,
the Sears Photo Center.
Yeah, with that like ugly blue curtain with a light on it to make it look fancy.
My favorite is when they try and cram 3 of them in and they're literally like shoulders overlapping, trying so hard not to touch each other while also acting like they like each other. It's superb.
Well, there's also a couple of feet off to the side of the camera where they could have actually spread out a little bit. But
oh yeah, like entirely too much negative space.
Yeah. It feels like the most awkward episode of Unsolved Mysteries ever.
The Ice, the actress, Kim Oja, So I was trying to look at a lot of these people. And like you said, there are some famous people. But when I clicked on her IMDb, it says that she's known for Justice League of America.
Yep.
How?
This is,
Oh boy.
And she's acted in other things.
yep. Yep. This is your legacy.
That's the meanest thing anyone could say about anyone
How
else.
bad is it when it says you are known for something that never was released?
That's worse than the poor actress who's known as fuckable Raggedy Ann.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? I don't think my brain understood that.
It's from a children's movie. It's fine.
Oh, my eyes are bleeding.
Sorry, she came back from Princess Warrior, remember? Good times.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I'm maybe not as familiar with DC during this time frame. So was Guy Gardner or Kyle Rayner a software salesman?
Guy Gardner has a degree in psychology and did time as a criminal justice social worker.
Mhm.
Well, it's kind of like a software salesman.
Hal Jordan was an Air Force pilot. John Stewart was a Marine. They're a Marine or a Ranger. They're basically the same. Please don't kill me, Armed Forces. And I can't remember what the fuck Kyle Rayner did. Kyle Rayner was a Green Lantern. He didn't need to be anything else.
But no software salesman.
Hang on. No,
Okay.
never.
Yeah. And how much of a like late 90s career reference is that? Just software salesman.
As much as in reference as the fact that his superhero alert is his beeper going off. I expected him to go, "What's the sitch, Wade?"
Oh my! Don't you fucking bring Kim Possible into this.
You know what? You're right. That was disrespectful of me.
So, like, there is definitely very much an air of like pre.com hubris about the whole thing,
Mhm.
to the point that like it's almost entirely confirmed that I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep calling him Kyle. He's Kyle. I'm calling him Kyle. That Kyle Rayner is paying for like their lifestyle because
Mhm.
Barry Allen is an unemployed loser.
Weirdly.
Yeah, don't get me started. BB DaCosta is an actress who
For
is
Fruit of the
apparently
Loom commercials?
who's apparently struggling enough in her career that she is showing up in banana costumes, which is almost as bad as having your epitaph be Justice League of America.
Yeah.
And then she gets stalked by Bernard from the Santa Claus.
I forgot about that. Oh!
Okay, so you recognized him too.
Immediately.
Cameos that I saw, I went, that's neat, and then completely forgot about it because it was too stupid to hold.
Yeah. Here's a fun fact about this kid. So the character is Martin. His name is David Krumholtz. He was Bernard in the first two Santa Claus movies, and then he bailed out and didn't do part 3. And then he did like a cameo on the TV show or something. But
he was willing to do part 3, but there was something else up with that. We talked about it with Satan on the
I'm
show.
trying to give him an escape.
Satan and I actually had a conversation about it. He was doing Numbers at the time.
Yeah, Numbers, the hit crime-solving TV show about how math is a superpower.
That's entirely separate from Person of Interest. We promise. Please don't check.
So he was diagnosed with something just a couple years ago called cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. The pain is apparently so bad that they get like this huge stomach cramp, and then they just throw up, and they're screaming as they're throwing up. So I have a new word to add to your lexicon. They call it scromiting. Screaming and vomiting. Scromiting.
I've been online. I know that one.
Isn't that what you used to do on Last FM?
What? Scromiting?
Hang on, I'm checking this. I can't be scromiting.
I love how bad it's like, yeah, I've been on the internet, not scromiting.
Oh, it's not not scromiting, it's scrobbling.
Okay.
You didn't play music on Last FM. You scrobbled it.
It was during that era where all apps were trying to like put branded language into the lexicon.
They truly Last FM fumbled that bag so hard. First to Pandora, and then Pandora fumbled it to Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Spotify, they're tyrants now because they're like, what are you going to do? Buy music? What are you going to play it on?
And speaking of companies that advertise, I think we've got an ad that we might need to read here.
Oh, no.
Hey, Chris, is everything okay?
Yeah, man, I'm just a little overwhelmed.
Well, what seems to be the problem?
Well, there's just so many Eric Roberts movies on Tubi. I can't figure out which one I want to watch next.
Oh man, I do not envy you making that decision. There is nearly 200 Eric Roberts titles on Tubi. How can you even make that choice?
Hey everyone, do I have a solution for you?
What is it?
The Found on Shelf podcast is proud to present Eric Roberts Roulette. That's right. Just go to ericrobertsroulette.com and click on his picture, and you will be whisked away by a random Eric Roberts movie, TV show, or documentary, all conveniently on Tubi. From classics like Love is a Gun to Christmas films like Santa Stole Our Dog and modern masterpieces like Amityville Bigfoot. Eric Roberts Roulette.com makes the hard decisions for you. If you don't like this selection, of course you do. It's Eric Roberts. It's Eric fucking Roberts. Just shut up and watch it. Or you can go back to ericrobertsroulette.com and click it again. Results are completely random, so you never know what you'll discover.
Thank you, Found on Shelf, and thank God for Eric Roberts.
Be sure to visit ericrobertsroulette.com today.
Oh my fucking God.
Dustin, we really have to talk about the direction of these URLs.
So I made a website.
I feel like Colin Jost staring down a Michael Che joke right now. I feel like this is a cognito hazard.
That's the name of the show. That's the game.
Hang on, I have to share this with somebody now. It's like a virus.
Patrick, did you check it out?
No, I know it's real.
I just clicked it. We are watching the Grave in Espanol.
Oh, yeah, the Spanish one too.
Dos convictos escuchan por casualidad una leyenda urbana de un millonario que fue... Oh, God. Fuck me.
Let's see. I just clicked it, and I'm watching Angels Fallen.
With Anthony Michael Hall, Keith David, and Donald Logue?
What?
Giovanni Ribisi?
You never know what glorious things you might find. This one, Angels Fallen, when his late wife's prophecy comes true, a retired demon hunter returns to the Dark Land to rescue an angel, in whose hands rests the world's fate.
Oh, no.
Also starring Michael Madsen.
I got Hunt to Kill. A border patrol agent quits and moves to the woods with his daughter. But when she's kidnapped by a band of criminals, he steps back into action. Oh boy, is that ill-timed. Okay.
It's a random wheel. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
It just happened. I clicked on it again when watching 1997's The Odyssey.
The telefilm?
Yeah, the TV show.
I watched. Wait.
No, it was like a 2-part TV show, but yeah.
Wait. No. So is it the Odyssey, the telefilm adaptation of Homer's The Odyssey, or is it Odyssey, the Canadian TV show?
Yeah.
Which had movies.
I think it was the first thing you said, because it's just 2 parts. It's like an hour and a half, part 1, hour and a half, part 2.
I just got woke 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
When a young woman meets her boyfriend's parents for the first time, she finds a grim fate waiting for her at their cabin in Cleveland.
This is the rest of the episode. Fuck the Justice League. Let's just keep clicking on this.
Finally, what I've always wanted, a slasher film with Drew Carey as the villain.
Listen. A lot of great things come from Cleveland, okay?
Wait, really? You're from Cleveland?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Cleveland, Ohio.
We have to move past this, but I don't want to.
And hey, EricRobertsRoulette.com. It's a game changer.
Eric Roberts has been here the whole time.
Brought to you by the Found on Shelf podcast.
Oh God, fuck! I gotta get out of here.
You guys remember when Eric Roberts was the master on Doctor Who?
What?
No.
That shitty made for American TV Doctor Who they did?
No one remembers that. No, stop.
Eric Roberts was the master?
I'm taking the shot, Dustin.
So the plot of the movie is there is technically a plot. Ice, what was her real name? Tori
Olafsdottir.
Yeah. She is working for the Eno Weather Institute, which does not make glam rock music, you would think. And it's a Brian Eno joke. Brian Eno. No? Okay.
It's not funny.
Oh no. I've never said anything not funny before.
It's 2025. Like nobody knows who Brian Eno is anymore.
All right, we're gonna talk about Brian Eno and Klaus Nomi. We're gonna get real into avant-garde music of the 70s. No, but Tori, she works at the Weather Institute. Miguel Ferreira is her boss. He's Eno, and there is threats being televised for some terrorist called the Weatherman, who says he can control the weather. And she is sneaking around the lab at night and accidentally gets irradiated by some weather device and gains the ability to control ice. Mm-hmm. And then later we find out that her boss, is in fact the Weatherman.
Dun, dun, dun.
How utterly shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they don't hint at that at all. They don't.
It's immediately obvious from the first 5 seconds that he's on screen.
Yeah.
Probably just because of who's playing him.
Yeah. He was also in Project Alf.
He was in everything. He was in so much shit.
I was gonna say what was kind of funny is in the late 90s, after this one, I think they did the Superman the animated series, and he played the Weather Wizard. He played the voice of the Weather Wizard on that show.
That's
which
funny.
Oh my God, that was Miguel Ferrer.
What the Weatherman was kind of sort of based on, but not really.
And if anyone here needs a kind of an anchor point to know who this person is, Twin Peaks.
Yes.
He was also Vandal Savage in the original seasons of Young Justice, for anybody who actually remembers that.
Mm-hmm. And he did the voice of Martian Manhunter in Justice League: The New Frontier.
The New Frontier was a good movie.
And his cousin is George Clooney, and his father, you might remember as the mayor in the forgettable Easter film, The Being, that we watched.
Oh God.
Well, while we're on the topic of comic books and Miguel Ferrer, Miguel O'Hara, the alter ego for Spider-Man 2099, who you might know from the recent Across the Spider-Verse films, was named after this actor, Miguel Ferrer. He was friends with Peter David, who helped create the character.
Huh. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I was going to say that word for word.
Really?
Well, the crap, I didn't know that. Not the whole what you said.
Oh,
I can't repeat what you said, even if I tried. Yeah. I wish I was more into the, I was into the comic stuff like pre-90s and maybe into the early 90s, and then nothing for a while. And then, started getting back into them again. So I missed out a lot of cool shit.
I read mostly goth and horror comics, so all of this is news to me.
We get it. You like Garth Ennis. That doesn't make you cool.
I actually don't like Garth Ennis.
No, nobody with a social life likes Garth Ennis. It's fine.
That's so true.
Now, next in this line, because it's like an hour or so into the movie, and we're maybe 10 minutes into it, but there's really not much to talk about for the next 60 minutes. So, we meet Adam, who is Ray Palmer, a teacher. Now, Adam is a character that I am not all that familiar with. So why does he have the power to shrink himself along with his clothing, yet he can't find any suits that fit?
I was about to engage in good faith with that question, but now I don't want to.
Are you going to bust the Crypt Keeper's balls like that?
Yeah, leave him alone. The Crypt Keeper is already rotting away due to syphilis, and this is the way you treat him.
I think that the decision to make the Crypt Keeper a romantic lead was bold and innovative, and more movies need to take that angle.
I did just for the hell of it. I had to clip a little bit of him just because. But do you know what else he was the voice of?
What?
So he actually, here's a kind of funny connection. So he started as a comedian. He beat out Sinbad for title of the best comic on Star Search. And I didn't know this. There in high school, I was in drama class, and I was in this. I didn't really like to be on the stage very much. I don't really know why I was in there, but whatever. I like to irritate the teacher. So there's a couple things he didn't like. He hated Monty Python. So of course, one year I decided to do a whole Monty Python monologue, or no, it was a whole skit with somebody else. I forget which one. What was that?
God, you were insufferable.
Something about the cheese story. Yeah, I really did like to just fucking dig under people's fingernails. Just.
I'm so glad you grew out of that.
You guys are really making me reflect on things.
This show is our therapy.
Son of a bitch. But anyway, so yeah, I want to say it was some skit with cheese or something like that. But anyway, so
yeah, no,
it might have been a cheese shop. Yeah.
When he kills the bazooki player.
I don't remember all that happened in that. I'll have to go back.
Do you have any cheese? Yeah.
Or something. No, it wasn't the dead bird. Ah, crap, I don't remember now. But anyway, he hated Monty Python, so I did Monty Python. And then the next year I was in drama again for whatever. And I had to do a monologue again. I was like, all right, let me find something. And I found this play, and they had a script sitting there in this book of things we can go through. And it was for a play called Three Guys Naked from the Waist Down. And I was like, I'm going to find a monologue in here somewhere. I don't even know what this thing's about, but I'm going to find it just to do it.
I don't know. I don't know why you didn't know what it was about. It feels like it's right on the front cover.
No clothing are taken off. It was literally about like three comedians trying to make it out in Hollywood or whatever. But yeah, and I did this play, and the guy that did the role for the first time on Broadway was John Kaiser, the Atom, the voice of Crypt Keeper. So, and he also had Scott Bakula in that. So there you go. And that was. Oh wait, no, I did have one more thing about the Atom. John Kaiser, if you are familiar with him, are you familiar with a little game called The Legend of Zelda?
Yeah.
Maybe a smidge.
Yeah. Were you aware that he did the original commercial for Legend of Zelda?
No way.
I mean, I'll show you the link on my phone right now, and I'll play the audio.
Watch Zelda become a legend on your Nintendo Entertainment System. Zelda! Which way to go? Good time.
What the fuck was that?
That was terrible.
I'm at a loss in a way that I'm not usually. I mean, I'm usually at a loss. This is a unique being at a loss.
Like, where do we go from here?
Back to the Justice League. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff where they kind of introduce a little bit of the heroes doing hero stuff. You get the weatherman says he's going to do a bunch of shit, and there's a tornado that pops up, and there's a construction site, and that shit falls over and almost knocks over the construction workers. I don't know, and she burns a hole.
Something almost
somehow it doesn't burn everything else. Yeah, and Adam shrinks down to save a cat or something, and Flash.
It gets real close to having like stakes.
And
you had to be real careful about that.
Much like the Rise of Skywalker, it sees those stakes and says, "We don't need them."
and then Flash decides to run in reverse of the tornado to stop the tornado.
That's definitely happened in a comic.
Oh yeah. At which point he's
like
out of breath.
the thing he does.
Right. And then then he's out of breath, and then the very next scene they're kind of like recapping everything, and they're like, nobody can manipulate the weather. It's impossible. And I'm like, you're saying that to a guy who literally just manipulated the weather. Like he reversed a tornado. He manipulated weather, and I was like, well, how do you just say this line after that line? Doesn't make sense to me. Am I just looking too far into this?
If you don't care.
I guess so. But yeah, so Flash is out of a job, so he decides to go and stay with Fire and Green Lantern. They're all sharing an apartment. This is where it really gets
frenzy.
Yeah. My favorite part, and it might be a new soundbite on here, is when the Flash starts to eat.
Oh yeah! Oh God! Oh, stop!
Oh, you know what? That might be a great combination with
Titties out.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, I will leave.
Stop. Oh my God.
I'll be honest. I thought about bringing in a bag of fucking Cheetos after the movie, just to fucking eat on camera, just to fuck with you guys in your recording. But I didn't because I'm not a sociopath. What's your excuse?
I don't know.
So the Justice League have to find and stop the Weather Wizard. They realize that it's somehow connected
He's
to
the Weatherman, not the Weather Wizard.
Shut the fuck up. just shut up.
I've made him snap. I've been trying to do that to Patrick for years.
Just shut up.
We're falling apart over here tonight.
Oh, I'm crying. I watched Snyder cut for this.
So, since you did,
how does this compare?
God, fuck you. Oh no. Oh God.
I'm sorry.
I can't show my friends this. I can't tell my friends what I was doing tonight. Oh God. Where do we go from here? What is there left to talk about? What is
okay? There are. I've got a thread before, and then we can wrap it up. I wanted the Martian Manhunter's prosthetics. Is that where all of the budget for this movie went?
Probably. That's why they only showed him for 8 seconds.
Yeah. I have a limited amount of time I can remain in my human form. Okay, buddy.
That dude is also old as shit, and he was. Yeah, so maybe he just couldn't act as much. And I don't know. Yeah,
okay.
There's so many problems.
Okay, we're talking about the Martian Manhunter. I need to get my final comic book nerd nitpick in. As they leave, he makes a comment about, "I'll be totally fine, Justice League. 300 degrees is beach weather on my planet." And that's not how the Martian Manhunter works. His one weakness is fire. His kryptonite is fire. Martians have an inbred fear of fire that is part of their racial memory. What the fuck are you talking about?
So you're saying he wouldn't stick around in that case?
Also, he said that the reason he was trying to save the Earth is because America had freedoms that Mars doesn't.
Well,
yeah, I mean, ever since they elected Claxor Trump,
Claxor Trump.
God, I hate this movie.
Flash temporarily gets a job working at the post office, and then he gets fired for doing his job too fast.
Let's be clear. He doesn't get fired. He gets his ass kicked because he's mooching on all the work and he's making the other mail carriers look bad.
Yeah.
Really, also, an amazing way to keep your secret identity.
Yeah.
By running around at light speed delivering mail.
He should have been fired because they should have been okay, which fucking set of bushes did you dump these letters in, you weirdo?
Mm-hmm.
That's a federal crime.
Oh, you didn't? So you're the Flash. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, neat. You're not
But
getting
you-
overtime.
You could have just, put on the Flash costume and said, I was just delivering these for my buddy Barry or something like that. Like,
Oh, you
No.
mean like later when the Martian Manhunter pretends to be fire,
Yeah.
so she can say, "I was just borrowing the earrings that Bernard gave me from my buddy BB."
I'm sorry, that's the stupidest thing in the world when Peter Parker does it as Spider-Man. It is somehow even worse here.
Green Lantern character and Fire they don't look anything different when they're really in costume and not. Like, it's like the amount they're actually trying to hide a secret identity when Green Lantern's girlfriend's looking at him in the face and doesn't recognize it's him. I'm like, how?
Yeah. Like,
hell
Okay,
to look
well,
at this?
some of them
actually, I'm gonna say this is real. I'm gonna tell you why, because I lived through the pandemic, and I can tell you it takes very little alteration for you to not realize somebody's face is just a different fucking person.
and some of those masks have fucking Geico caveman levels of cowling on them, like full Cro-Magnon forehead.
Yeah.
Like I always thought that the Christian Bale "I'm Batman" voice was like stupid, and all this has done is confirm that for me.
Yeah, yeah. He's doing way too much.
Yeah,
It's almost
chill
as if
out.
Christian Bale was playing Christian Bale in those movies. like
Yeah.
how do I overact here? What's
I
my
wish you would've bailed
methodology?
on those guys.
I'm trapped in 47 layers of leather and spandex, so we're going with this.
Hey, Bruce, how do you feel about Huey Lewis in the news?
Well, I mean, when you really get down to it, it's got that swinging, hip, groovy feel to it. Sometimes I just want to find criminals in an alleyway and break every single bone in their bodies. Hey, Paul, let's see the Joker's card.
Okay. So the movie basically, because again, it's an hour and 20 minutes and almost nothing happens. Basically, all that happens is Tori gets superpowers but can barely control them or do anything interesting. She finds the Justice League when they kidnap her and reveal themselves to her after they realize that she can turn things to ice, like she's human Ice 9. And
Now, did you guys recognize? Did you remember when Dr. Eno's hand turns green, and the little kid's like, "Why is his hand turning green?"
yeah, is that supposed to be the Martian Manhunter there?
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
That's
like
why
later-
at the
Yeah.
end when he's like, "We've met before," and I was like,
Yeah, the movie could have
Oh.
tipped her hand on that.
the 2 seconds that we see a green hand with absolutely no reference to anything else.
And it's
Okay.
it's confusing because Dr. Eno is like his own character at the same time. So it's like a poorly executed fake out because like how easy would it have been for her to have a conversation with Martian Manhunter and then find her boss 5 minutes later and it's like, "Oh, hey, you still want that jelly donut?" And she's like,
Mhm.
"I don't eat donuts. I'm on a diet." She's like, "What?"
Exactly. You could do that. It would be easy.
Like, there's a really simple fix for that, and it's just make the weird fucking weather dork like Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. The
Yeah, the Gyu of this movie.
So they all have to sneak into a party. So they decide to go undercover, and Green Lantern uses his powers to pickpocket somebody. Fire flirts with the bouncer, and
Flash just runs in.
runs fast. And
the Atom comes in
Adam's
in someone's
inside
purse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, can we talk about the Green Lantern powers? Is now the window to talk about that?
Sure,
Yeah,
go ahead.
for it.
Like, I will fully own up to the fact that, like, this is something that came out in the 90s, made for TV. It did not have the budget to do convincing special effects for this, but God, does this movie succeed at cheapening what is essentially, like, one of the most powerful heroes in DC's canon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
they've taken
Jesus
this amazing power and
Christ.
reduced it to pickpocketing.
And an umbrella.
Yeah, a Mary Poppins umbrella.
Like,
Ella.
Spins around.
like
Hey.
I'm reminded of the Superman trailer, the upcoming Superman movie trailer that just came out with Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner, where he's creating giant middle fingers to flip tanks, and I'm like, God, how far we've come.
To pickpocketing.
This is the future we earned.
Yes, because these superheroes use their power to shrink down to try to fix their television.
and do
Okay, let's talk
limbo
about
under
what a bad
lasers.
fucking idea that is. I mean, come on. A CRT TV is basically just waiting to kill you.
Or the fixation on fixing things with gum.
Oh, the
that
foil.
was the callback, because
Yeah.
even though the first time they used the foil, the second time they used the gum, which didn't make sense because it wasn't even really a callback, but still they tried.
Or the Atom doing limbo under a laser. Like this movie is so confused about what it wants to be.
Right. And then they so they're trying to break into the door, but like Adam decides to like try to pick a lock, so he slides a card in it, but the door starts opening before the card even hits the door. So it's just horrible editing. Not to mention he can just shrink down and crawl underneath the door. I don't understand why that didn't happen.
If we tried to go back through this in linear order, because I think that's what's happening, and we can't do that.
I'm trying to see if there's anything else we need to touch on here.
I will touch on a couple things. One, there was one singular line that made me kind of chuckle throughout the entire movie.
Oh, okay.
Go on.
That is in the scene when the Martian Manhunter is talking to BB after getting rid of the stalker by pretending to be her in her leotard, and they're walking away, and the Martian Manhunter says, "Doesn't this chafe your thighs?"
Yeah.
That was funny.
God, yeah. Like, way to rob your one character of gravitas.
I thought you were going to say the funny line, or the line that made you laugh was when she's like, "You've never met an alien before?" And she's like, "I met Leonard Nimoy."
Shut up.
This is the main thing that I really want to hold on. After they defeat the evil by literally showing up at the satellite he's hanging out at and drop kicking the suitcase and then kicking him. There's a rogue tidal wave that they can't stop, and Ice finally, she gets the power to believe in herself. She sings "Let It Go," and the tidal wave freezes, right?
Yeah.
And then that's the end of the movie. And so what's left is like the epilogue of the film, and that is showing her taking the oath. And during this sequence, they play the Justice League of America theme. And I talked about this with Chris a minute ago, but this wasn't recording. So they're playing the Justice League theme, which they play on and off throughout the whole movie. But they're really, this entire scene is just, there's no dialogue. It's just the theme, right? While she's like swearing the oath in their underwater submarine. By the way, their base is a submarine. Yeah. And the thing is, the Justice League of America theme is startlingly similar to the Edward Scissorhands theme.
Yeah.
Like note for note, it's just the ending theme to Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, and I don't know if I actually did. Oh, did I do any of that? Oh no, that was the intro music. No, I didn't do the other one. But yeah, it was. And yeah, Green Lantern makes a little helicopter floaty thingy and confronts, throws a briefcase, and then instead of actually trying to go after the briefcase or using his, Green Lantern power to like swoop up and grab the suitcase, he just kind of watches it fall and goes, well. Yep. And then radios his buddies, I can't do anything.
I feel like we have to talk about the Buffy paradigm at this point. Patrick, I'm sure you're aware of this phenomenon, that there are like two distinct eras of 90s and early 2000s television, and that's pre-Buffy and post-Buffy. Buffy the Vampire Slayer really kind of developed, I wouldn't even say developed, refined writing and refined comedic writing in television. Like, there were still a lot of trappings from television of this time, from like multicam sitcoms where like the pause for laugh is almost built in, even if there's not like the canned laughter to acknowledge anymore. And it's more built around like build-ups to big one-liners, like the whole Martian Manhunter, does this thing always chafe, where you have a serious scene that builds to a punchline. And what Buffy did was find a way to work humor into dialogue in a way that was much more natural without slowing down the pacing of the show. And I think it is, like, it's pretty obvious that this show was like right on the cusp of being pre and post Buffy.
I don't. That's an interesting theory. Where does Northern Exposure fit into that?
In the North.
I rest my case.
As long as we're talking about 90s TV, they needed to fix their broken TV because they needed to catch an episode of Touched by an Angel.
Yeah.
God, you're right.
And we can't let this episode end without saying they were going to watch Touched by an Angel.
God, sometimes it's just too on the nose.
Would it have been great if at the end, and when they went to swear in ice, instead she looks at the camera and that overhead light shines on her head to simulate the heavenly halo, and she's like, "Actually, I was just here to help you restore your faith in yourself."
Yeah, this is just a really weird Quantum Leap episode.
Mm-hmm. like Adam looks in a mirror and it's Scott back going, why can't I leap?
I feel concussed.
Now, to leap out of this film, I think we have to end the episode on one special question. Dustin, do you have the canned clip?
Titties out.
The other canned clip? I will murder
I'm
you.
going to kill him. I'm so close.
In a way, I brought you here to offer you a job. You think you can do it better, so here's your chance.
All right. So you have to change 3 things. Only 3 things about this movie to get it back on the air somehow, some way. What do you do?
Patrick, go first. Because I'm going to be mean.
Okay, off the dome. Let's see. Honestly, I like the interview segments. I don't like them, but I like the idea of them. I think we should keep that. I think we should lean a little closer into the sitcom aspect. So at this point, instead of the Flash looking for a job as the B-roll, that's your A story. Your B story is also the entire world might get destroyed. That's funnier to me. So we'll do that. Let's
kind of like Teen Titans cartoon was more about like them being together than actually.
Yeah, which was one of my favorite cartoons, and also I read way more Teen Titans comics than any of the other DC comics. So
yeah, fair.
Now we know what my whole vibe is.
One thing.
The second thing I want to change is this is now. See, now it gets tough. You're like, okay, I changed one thing. Now we have a completely different show. But now we still have all these same people involved. What do we do? Okay, 2 more changes.
Do you want to just come up with one each if we're all struggling with one? Because I have one off the dome.
Go for it.
I would not have made this as a single standalone movie. I would have broken this up into 3 to 4 separate, probably 3 different episodes of television, trimmed off the last 20 minutes. Aired parts 1 and 2 as like a 1-hour special event. And then the next week followed it up with the conclusion to the Weather Wizard plotline. Because God, this movie struggles so fucking much with pacing until you step back and realize, oh, it's because this is like 3 different episodes of TV crammed together.
Yeah, and that's how they wrote it, was essentially like episodes 1, 2, and 3. Which, I mean, that's fine if that's gonna how you're gonna release them, but they designed it to be like a pilot. Like that's
like.
Do you think we could squeeze a giant alligator into the movie somewhere?
That was the only thing that could fix it.
No.
Justin, you have Croc, but then you have to bring Batman, and it would just be a whole thing.
Yeah, remember the embargo.
Right, of course, yes.
So I don't know.
I don't know, maybe they should induct
maybe some gator babes. I would suggest let's see. I didn't think of one at all. I mean, just destroy every copy of this movie and make
that was good. That was my funny one. Was I was calling bomb threats to every convention where this was being shared.
Yeah, find the people that are selling copies of it and just
I now have a proposal for how to fix this movie.
Okay.
The Justice League spends 90 minutes searching for every copy of this movie to destroy it.
Oh, meta.
Yeah.
Wait, that sounds like Thanksgiving 3.
Son of a bitch!
It's already less meta than a lot of the Crisis on Infinite Earth comics.
Full circle, baby. Full circle.
You just pitched Thanksgiving 3.
All right. I think that's our show. We want to wrap it up.
I hate both of you so much. I
see we're finally aligned on something, you and I.
I gave David Zaslav money for this. I bought an HBO Max subscription in support of this, and I expect to be compensated for my pain and suffering. I I thought Winter Beast was bad. God, some of these movies you've made me watch have been above the fucking pale, but this feels so much more personal.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. We'd love to have you on again as a guest.
I need you to go wake up your daughter so I can yell at her and make her feel bad for what you've done. That's how angry I am.
I made her watch Fred 3, so, you know.
You didn't make her watch shit. She made you.
Well, yeah. There's a little bit of give and take. I wanted to watch it. I can't help myself.
We are the Found on Shelf podcast. If you thought any of this was funny, we do this every other week on New Video Tuesday, except for today because the episode didn't get uploaded today, Dustin.
Fucker.
Hey, it's not midnight in my time.
You can find us everywhere on foundonshelfpod.com or any social media site as Found on Shelf Pod, all one word. Come hit us up on Blue Sky, the only social media site as far as I'm aware. I think there might be some other ones, maybe kind of.
Yeah, Threads, Facebook.
Threads.
I guess I don't like Facebook.
Send us a letter.
Call
Strongly
us.
worded letter about the movies we choose.
Mm-hmm.
Or the jokes we think are funny. It's fine.
Yeah, you can. There's a link on our website where you could select and leave a message, or you can give us a phone call 252-564-8666. And be sure to check out ericrobertsroulette.com.
I'll be posting a GoFundMe for the emotional turmoil I've suffered. Please contribute.
All right. And since there's no real outros or intros or anything with this, I'm going to play a little something from John Kaiser here.
From what?
This is the Keeper, where I have a tasty treat, inviting you all to a feast. Only the best of fiends can come. We'll have skeletons of fun. So come on down to
I just love that. Did we lose you? Did I lose everybody? What happened? Everybody's gone?